Welcome back to my channel. Today is the first day under the full lockdown. 2 days ago, Spain entered the state of emergency. All the businesses had been shut down except for pharmacies, hospitals, and the supermarkets. Yesterday, they even imposed a travel ban unless you're going to work in the supermarket or hospital or pharmacy, or you're traveling to seek food or seek medical attention. Then you don't need to step outside of your home. You have to stay home and stay calm and stay healthy as much as possible for the next 15 days. And this had impacted many people's lives. After this pandemic, life will not be the same. And I want to make this video focusing on how to cope with this lockdown situation and this pandemic situation, so that if your city or your town or your country will likely to face the same situation, I hope to provide you with some insights and some advice on how to cope with it as a creative professional. So most of my friends or people in my social circle are working in the cultural industry. So I ask them, hey, how are you doing? Like, do you need any help? And how is the financial situation personally? And the answers were very, very diverse. I have to say, I was surprised from the extreme, desperate cry for help to somehow very calm and very positive messages. Positive, not saying they're happy or anything. I'm saying they are not desperate or not sad about it, and they were trying to make the most out of the 15 days locked down at home. And I will share with you their responses, and hopefully we can learn a few things from them. From the worst range to the more positive range, I have had some people telling me that they lost their jobs and they were living from paycheck to paychecks, and they are definitely in a desperate bankruptcy situation because let's say they are freelancers in art school and they don't get paid for the sessions they're not teaching yet, or even in the sessions they have taught, because they just started school and the school haven't finished and they got paid per semester, and likely that they will not get paid at all. Then on a less negative side, I have people who are, let's say, business owners who say, okay, I will lose my business, but I still can keep my house and I have some financial cushion, and the government is going to step in and help to cover some business losses. So that's not too bad, although it is bad enough. And then I have some people that are more neutral. They lose something, but they win something, and it's also an opportunity for them. For example, I know some people who are part-time artists, who are part-time bartending or working in the service industry. They lose their service jobs first because they are non-essential seasonal workers. They're not considered core staff to be kept during this time. So they got sent home first. But because they're part-time artists, they think, okay, now it's time to take the jump and switch to a full-time art career. So this is also a weakening sign for them to take actions, take the steering wheel of their career, and maybe something beautiful will come out of it. On the most positive side, I have professional freelancing independent artists who wrote me saying, you know what, this is a great opportunity for me to do a lockdown artist residency. I have an independent studio space at my home, so I can stay home and paint artworks for the next 15 days, and I can sell online because I have already clients online in some areas that are not affected by this coronavirus disease. And also I can just stock up my inventory, and when the situation gets better, I will start the sales. And they were very positive about it. Of course, it's not a easy situation for anybody. You cannot go out and you cannot go to sport, or you cannot even take a walk in the park, and it's kind of depressing, but you can do something about it and try to make a plan. From their experiences, I have put together 4 advice for you. Hopefully they can help you cope with the corona pandemic. My first advice is to have multiple sources of income. This is very important for your personal financial security. For example, you save some money, you can have some interest, and you invest in the stock market, you invest in real estate market. No matter what you do, you try to have multiple sources. Even if you're taking different 3 jobs online, you can have a Fiverr, freelancer.com, and then you have a part-time job apart from your full-time job as an art teacher. You can just do what is so-called hustling and try to keep up with it and make as much money as possible. When you are young, when the situation is still okay, you need to diversify maximum possible. So when things go south, at least you are not cut down from 100% to 0%. You still have some financial cushion and different, let's say, backup plans to quickly make up for the losses. My second advice is to diversify your products. When I say products, I mean your artworks, your art in general, or merchandising. Don't be offended when I say products. It's just an easy way to call all those things that you make, no matter if you're a craftsman or if you are a painter or contemporary artist. Diversifying your products means that you're not only selling, for example, original works of art, that's it. You're selling also prints, merchandising. You're selling also art teaching, Patreon donations. You're selling different services and products at once. If you run an art business, like a physical business, like an art gallery, then I would highly recommend you to go phygital. So phygital is physical and digital, a combination of the two. Like Art Basel did, they did this online showroom, so you can see this online viewing experience, very nice experience for customers in different parts of the world to shop art online. And this is a new tendency, and okay, this is not exactly new, but it is a tendency for the future, especially with this pandemic, with let's say higher internet speed like 5G. So this is going to be more and more common with the virtual reality. I highly recommend you to use a phygital strategy for your art business. Even if you are just an independent artist, you can have an online store or online viewing experience and then combined with your offline open studio, so you can do business both ways and putting eggs in different baskets. My third advice is to prepare for the lockdown and make a plan for it. For example, you have been trying to do an art project but you don't have time. Now it is your opportunity. Draft a 15-day plan during the lockdown. So you say, I prepare food for 15 days, I will focus on this art project, I will do it for the next X amount of time and then finish it. Because you know that during the lockdown you will have to focus on this project, so you can be easily focused and hopefully motivated to finish the project in the due time in the meantime, so you can make the most out of this unfortunate event, not just being locked up at home without art supplies, without a plan, and just feeling sorry for yourself. So make a plan and turn your home studio into a mini artist residency of one person and do the project you always wanted to do. My last advice, number 4, is to be ready for a change or be the change. This pandemic has changed our lives indefinitely, has changed our lives involuntarily and irreversibly. I don't even know which word to put, but you get the idea, is that our lives will not be the same after this, because people will have a lot of self-reflection during the time of lockdown and during the financial crisis, because I think right now is already a financial crisis with all this situation. So people will think about, how they want to live the rest of their lives and what is essential. Maybe it's gonna be impacting a lot of people's decisions on buying what kind of art and supporting what kind of artist. So you can react to this. Personally speaking, I would challenge you to break the silo. When I say break the silo, I don't mean the traditional business management way of breaking the silo in the organization, but I want to say break the silo in the world of art. I know many people were saying, I'm an artist, I'm not a craftsman, or I'm an artist, I'm not a designer. I'm an artist, I'm not an illustrator. And they were very, very afraid to be called an illustrator or a designer because they think they're not. Of course, you can say that you're not a designer if you're not, but what I mean is don't be afraid to test water and break the silo and try to go out of the comfort zone to go to another side of let's say, craft, art, design, illustration, and try to make something useful. For example, I'll give you a very silly example. Right now, a lot of children were in panic because their parents had been taken away in quarantine, or because they were not allowed to go to school and to socialize with their favorite kids or go to the parks. And under the lockdown, it's very difficult for everybody. But for adults, we can mentalize everything. We can be reasonable. But for children, it's very difficult. So they will cry and they will scream and they will be traumatized. So as an artist, you can make children's comics, books, and flyers and animations, and you can do art for them to explain, like how to wash your hands, how to cope with the situation, what to do in a lockdown. And you can make illustrations and art for children under the situation. And guess what? Many of you might say, I don't do children's books because I'm not a children's book illustrator. break the silo. Use this as a moment for change and challenge yourself to do something useful and helpful. If your art can help a group of children or many children and can change their lives, can be a comfort in the difficult time, I think it's worth it and it's noble. Do illustration for change because it's the moment for change, and really people should think out of the box and jump out of the box. And it's senseless at this moment when it's a challenge of all humanity and people are facing difficult times, all the business being shut down, and you think, I'm an artist, I'm not an illustrator. I think this is totally ignorant and arrogant, and I would totally challenge you to make something that is very different from what you are normally doing. If you don't like what you have done after doing them, you can say, you know what, it's just my test during the quarantine period and now I'm back into my normal and I'm just gonna be an artist, not an illustrator. That's totally fine. But you have tried it and you have done something different. And I think this can be a very valuable experience for your life as an artist. Alright, that's all for today. I'm going off to do some laundry, cleaning and cooking, and this is probably my leisure, my activities for all day for the next 14 days, and I will be also making videos and writing content for our website, so check them out if you're interested in learning how to make money as an artist. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.